Are you a protester or a preacher? There's a big difference. The world sees us as all protesters. They don't really see the difference. But born-again believers who have been called by God to preach the gospel, to preach the word of God, to warn, to exhort, rebuke, they know the difference. And if that's what you're doing, if your calling is to go out and protest events, I get preaching at events. There's nothing, I love preaching at events, but there's a spiritual aspect to it that you're trying to convey. Whether you're rebuking some kind of sin going on there, idolatry, drunkenness, fornication, things like that, and you include the gospel in there, you're trying to see people come out of that and get saved. But if you're just showing up to an event, maybe to just antagonize people, there's nothing sinful about the event, but you're making it sinful, creating some kind of law that doesn't exist in the Bible because it's some opinion of yours, maybe you've become a protester. And so brethren, if you're a preacher, try to maintain the Word of God. Try to keep your focus on people getting saved, coming out of the sin that they're in, coming out of whatever it is, and coming to Jesus Christ. Just don't get it confused. Don't muddy the waters between preaching and protesting. Westboro Baptist Church, they're protesters. We see that all the time. They have no interest in anybody coming out of it and getting saved. You're done, it's over, you're damned, that's it. But as preachers, we care about people actually wanting to get saved, wanting to get them set free from whatever it is. So there's nothing wrong with event preaching, but just make sure, if you're going to a carnival, and preaching at a parade or a marathon, running isn't a sin. Don't make it a sin. There's nothing wrong with being at that. I just got back from a race, preaching the Daytona 500. There's nothing wrong with racing cars, but the idolatry that's behind it needs to be addressed. And so there's a way to preach without becoming a protester. So are you today a preacher or a protester? Got to know.